was on the morning news, just talking about the weather. They asked me about my weekend, and I thought we'd laugh together. But then the anchor turned to me with a serious demand. He said, before we move on, I got one question, man. Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? I need to hear it now. Try to give me sass. You can talk about the rain, you can talk about the grass, but before we talk of anything, do you condemn Hamas? I was on a cooking show, showing off my famous stew. Had my apron on and my chef's hat. I was feeling pretty cool, but then the host looked at me with a camera in his hand. He said, before we talk of recipes, there's something I must ask. Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Before we start to cook, before we even light the gas, you can talk about the garlic, you can talk about the bass, but first I need to know, do you condemn Hamas? I'm at the grocery store just picking out some cheese, when a random shopper stops me and gets down on his knees. He says, I know you're buying cheddar, and I think that's pretty nice, but I've got to ask you something before I give advice. Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? We can talk about the dairy, we can talk about the glass. You can ask me about my family, you can ask about my past, but before you scan that coupon, do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? I'm at my wedding day, about to say my vows. The preacher's got his book and the guest is sitting down. But before I say I do, before we kiss at last, the preacher stops the ceremony and says I gotta ask, do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Before you kiss the bride, before you raise your glass, we can talk about the cake, we can talk about the past, but before you tie the knot, do you condemn Hamas? It's everywhere I go, it's on every TV show. I'm tired of all these questions, they just won't let it go. From breakfast to the boardroom, it's always the same task. So before we go any further, I know what they will ask. Do you condemn Hamas? It's everywhere I go, it's on every TV show.